Are you ready for 2026? Are you ready for 2026? Let's go. It's 2026 and God has spoken. And when the big chief speaks, you ought to listen. 2 lessons, 1 conviction, 1 revelation that definitely is shaping the theme for my personal 2026. As we end off each year, we ought to review what worked in the previous year from all aspects. Our dreams, that vision board, health, marriage, work, kids, alles. We review, we judge ourselves. Transparency and honesty, definitely the keys here. And then, if we are wise, we lay these stones before God to see what should become a stepping stone and what should become a skipping stone. Strategies, diligence, vision, and excellence builds empires. But all of them are formulated around, yes, you guessed it, habits. Especially discipline in those habits. How you introduce them into your structure and foundation will matter if they stick or not, and will matter if they make the impact or not. Habits are not New Year's resolutions. They are small worships. And already that should tell you something about what you plan to make a habit. Calling it a worship is a bit hurtful, yet revealing and kind of satisfying to know its true form. The course of my 2026 was built around 2 lessons or truths, 1 conviction, 1 revelation. And I'm sharing this because soon you will see invites to workshops, new content, 2 books this year, and a massive productivity workshop ahead. And I always say, know the author before reading the content. Understand the undertone and backdrop before you journey along or against the opinions. And this is part of my backdrop for 2026. You don't need to stick around to hear this, but do stick around to our channels to learn how we can assist you in guiding your 2026 according to your personal calling. So let's get the 2 personal lessons I learned. Lesson number 1 is this. In business, you will often get the opportunity to hunt or to kill. Don't mistake these 2 for one another, and don't be blinded in thinking they are the same. Hunting is to provide. It's sustainable. Kill is no matter what. Both in literal meaning ends in death, but in figurative speaking, one resembles ethical approaches, it resembles opportunity, whereas the other resembles personal gain, regardless of. Be mindful of not only what opportunities you take on, but also how you take them on. Lesson number 2 is the more opportunities you create to serve, the more opportunities you create for others to be ungrateful for. For the right reasons, you would want to stop. Internally encouraged to do so, you will experience more ungratefulness and self-centeredness in people. You will need to learn to deal with it. It should not anger you. It should, on the contrary, inspire you. Inspire to serve harder and further, because that feeling is a confirmation that serving is costing you. It should inspire you to not cave in by the selfish demand, but move beyond those feelings towards something bigger than you, moving towards them. A personal lesson I learned through this, one of my sayings I guess, is a filled cup kept to yourself is just as good as an empty cup offered to others. One conviction this year is I was on 21 flights last year. For some it's a lot, for me it is, and for some not really. The average time on those flights are 2 hours. And as I reflected back on my travels, God clearly just laid on my heart 21 times you were stuck next to a stranger for 2 hours. They literally can go nowhere, nor could you. How was the ministry in that 2 hours? The light sharing moments. Let me give you an example. Very often it is so hard to sit there and think, how can I Bible bash someone? How can I just be the light? Whereas someone just wants your attention. Someone just wants your conversation. I sat there, I do 4 books each quarter. That's the aim, from psychology to business to spiritual or Christianity books. Those are kind of like my 3, I've got 3 or 4 avenues of books that I read in. And I picked up a book by Jordan Peterson. It is called We Who Wrestle with God. And in that moment at the airport, I sat there, the book was next to me, I was busy writing. But just that book caught someone's attention, like, hey, who would be so stupid to wrestle with God? And it stirred up a conversation from that point on. I use that as a cheat code on the airplane. Whenever I travel, I take the book that I'm reading, make sure it's one of those books that captures the conversation, put it out on the table behind me, put on my reading glasses, and I start reading. No earphones, no nothing. And you would be surprised how that stirs up a conversation to be in that moment, to gather some light. And then the one revelation that I received this year. For a moment in my life, I was so determined to work towards the stage. It was my heart's desire to preach and minister full time. I went through what I thought the regular progression was to kind of achieve it. In those moments, unfortunately, I experienced some personal sense of church hurt, but also experienced a unique journey with God, which actually just aligns my born talents and interests with His calling. And just like that, it was like my eyes went open. My ministry is in the workplace. I'm privileged to work with unicorns, company culture, scalable businesses, and owner-run businesses. In a daily environment where wrong reasons are chased, I can be there. To be of service to my client, to help them achieve even more, yes, but to be a friend and stand in the gap. That's EXCAP. We are of service to our clients, relational, intentional, and striving for that 1% in excellence. Not for us, more for our clients, yes, but ultimately for the King and for the kingdom. Entrepreneurship is the number one most important career for God. It is a bold statement, and we will explore that this year. Join in as we experience the call to create. Wisdom is a brand new, live, free networking experience for the entrepreneur. It starts the 3rd of February. We have limited seats and the sign up is free. See you there.